we're looking. All right, we don't have to talk about that anymore.
Oh no, good. Are we on the? All right, Ben.
We're recording because otherwise we'll never get out of here.
Shit. I was not prepared for the first fucking half of that Invincible episode. I thought I was. I thought I knew what I was going to watch. That was entirely wrong. That was some of the best comic book moments that I've seen put on screen in a long time. And there's been some good stuff that's come out we talk highly about. But Invincible seems to be on another fucking level, man. Omni-Man is becoming one of my favorite characters of all time.
I'm surprised you didn't come in with a big mustache today.
Holy shit. I just kept thinking like what's his face? God damn it. I should always know his name, but I just call him Jonah Jameson because that's who he is.
Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons, man. He was like Omni-Man, he has just channeled his Whiplash character. And I'm for it, man. I really am. He is one of the best realized. He's basically just, what if Superman came down here to enslave us? And it is awesome. I am for it. 100% for it. And hit that moment, that fight with his son. Because I think I was more right last week than you were. No. Because you were like, oh, well, they weakened him, so it'll be more of a fair fight. There was nothing fair about what we watched.
I was just throwing things out there. I knew how it was going to end because
you've read it. Oh, yeah. It was such a one-sided. All the shit that he put his son through, man. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And then how it ended.
I mean, obviously spoilers, since we haven't really said anything yet. But fuck it.
Yeah. All these are spoilers. I don't even care at this point. If you're listening, you've heard it before. Yeah, we dive straight into it.
This
man.
Doesn't. Plus, this what we're recording now doesn't air till Tuesday, and this comes out. The show came out Friday.
Friday, yeah.
So anything that has the weekend to be seen, I don't even care about. Like, I get it. Not everyone can watch something as soon as it comes out, but. You know, if you have time to listen to this, you probably had time at some point to watch that show. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, he almost killed his own son, which was
tortured his own son.
There's this whole thing where you think obviously he's not going to kill him because the show's named after him.
Yeah.
But also you don't. Until, 2 days before, there wasn't actually an official renewal of the show.
That's right.
So maybe you're thinking, all right, it's 8 episodes. He kills his son, and that's and that's all we get.
Wompa, wompa, wah, hop.
Right, and so
dance off into the sunset, everyone.
I don't know what that.
I don't know what that fucking was either. I don't
even... I kept powering through it, and then it kind of came back in my head, and I'm like. Am I supposed to have recognized that?
No, because I think I wanted to go for the end of a Warner Brothers episode or some shit, Looney Tunes, but I don't know if I got that even halfway right.
I don't know.
I think I missed the whole boat on that. That's fine.
I don't know what that was at all. So yeah, he and it wasn't like he kind of redeemed his father or anything like that, or
no, there was nothing that happened to redeem Omni-Man.
His dad got pissed off that he cared about him.
Yeah.
And just left the planet.
Yeah.
Left the solar system.
Yeah, the galaxy. Yeah, the whole fucking deal. Yeah,
fuck this.
And for those who haven't watched, it isn't a fight. I mean, I guess they purported to be a fight. I mean, fists were thrown, but it was a one-sided torturing of one son.
Yeah.
In every conceivable way, emotionally, physically. I mean,
well, the wife too. I mean, when he said, "Your mom's more like a pet."
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't know. I've never fucked my dog, but
But he's right. It's funny because the whole dialogue he's right. He's like, "Listen, we're thousands of years old. Like, this is a speck of a second of time in my life. This last however long, And it's so crazy because you want to be like, oh, he's going to get through the commitment he has. And no, motherfucker, you're not. Mark's not going to get through his dad's commitment to his race. This guy is in. He's one of the 1%ers of that race. Yeah, no, you're not changing him.
He already like.
Yeah, he made that decision.
He already went through the survival of the fittest
thousands of years ago. So yeah, doesn't give a fuck, man. It was crazy. I
recognized a couple of when he was talking about his home planet, and when they were showing some of the final standing people from their attrition or whatever you want to call it. Like, I recognize a few from the books. Like, we're going to see a couple of those characters.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that. Especially when Seth Rogen at the end is explaining that, they're coming for this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're gonna get it. And then Mark's like, I'll be ready. I'm like, no, you won't, buddy. No, we saw what ready looked like.
Well, I mean, listen, he's got some time to montage it up.
Here's the problem, though. Like, his dad montaged his life to get to where he's at against his own people.
Yeah.
Mark has got nothing on Earth to montage against. He's the 1%er on the planet Earth.
We'll see. I've read the book, so I don't,
you know.
I mean, obviously, alliances are forged.
We're going to, you know what this episode shows me? We're going to get more Mr. Immortal. Omni-Man!
They definitely keep putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, that's for sure.
And the explanation for that room was fucking awesome. I loved it.
Oh, with the light.
Yeah, you've been drinking water your entire life, right? Tap water? Yeah, you're never gonna see this shit. Yeah. The more we get into the weeds, that Samuel, that Nick Fury character is growing on me.
Oh, I forget his name was Clive Clarence.
I literally always forget his name, especially when we do this podcast. Cannot fucking remember. He doesn't have a code name or nothing. It's just,
yeah, I forget what it is too. Cyril, right?
It's not Cyril. Cyril. This is an archer. But
it's something like that, isn't it?
Probably. It's as high regard as we talk about these shows, and I forget the fucking.
It's bothering me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember. See, early on, I don't remember his friend and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't remember their story arcs past this point. So I can't even tell you where they go. I know where him and Eve go. I know where him and his dad go. I know where him and that alien go. And some of the others, like I know the Martian storyline a little bit. And I remember they did a good job. They've got like all these like threads that are like ready to touch on at any given second. I like the way they told the story where they introduced you to so much. And the Guardians stuff, he's not part of the team.
Yeah.
But they pretty much are telling like a dual story there with those guys, And they they developed so many of these characters in the they were 45 minutes long, 50 minutes long.
It's a really good job they did.
There's so many characters have depth to them.
Because
compared to when you watch some of these other shows.
As somebody who never read the comics, I'm invested and I understand these characters. They've done a really good job of building them individually over the course of time. When they've made
over the course of a short time.
Yeah, they've made their moments count, and that's our criticism of the Falcon Winter Soldiers. They didn't make those moments count when it came to the Flag Smashers. But when it comes to Invincible, you have a good idea of every character, and some of them you're invested in. So when they almost die, the episode with the fucking space tiger, you were like, oh no!
I think it's Battle Beast. I think he's called.
Yeah, I think so because they for some reason in the Where Are They Now they showed him, so I guess he becomes a bigger.
Yeah, it's just he's in the show later on.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't know what you want me to tell you.
No. I like not knowing, man.
Yeah.
I like not knowing, and I like on your side because you've read everything. You know what's happening. You know how it happens. So, when we sit down and talk about this, and you're like, this is just, this is great. This is exactly what it was. And it made it better.
It's not, it's not
They used hindsight to make it better.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome.
That train scene's pretty fucking crazy.
Bro, holy shit! This is you know what that fight was. That fight is to me, what Superman and Zod should have been.
I mean, it kind of was, but not intentionally.
But Superman and Zod, there wasn't a life lesson being implanted. Like,
right.
Omni-Man was going, what are you doing?
No, see, they did it inadvertently. And they got criticized for it afterwards, where it was like all this destruction and whatever, and all his lives are lost, but there was no point to it.
Yeah.
And in this, there was a point to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly how it should have gone. And then the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, this is the perfected version of that fight. Yeah. This is fucking phenomenal. I love, and the wife is just like, this is so much, and I'm like, this is like, no one's ever not pulled their punches like this, you know, like this is a complete haymaker fight. This is reality in a cartoon format, but holy shit, man!
Right, but when they do that stuff, they can't do it on this level.
No,
that's the funny thing with the animation. It's like this. You're like, this would be a cool live action show, but you couldn't tell it like this. And like anytime you get that, like The Boys. Mm-hmm. Or Brightburn or a couple of these other things that where it's like these heroes aren't good and they're doing these fucked up things. You can't do it on the scale.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, this was crazy. Yeah, dude, it was so apparent to me where I'm like how are they gonna make, because I remember after the avalanche and he just threw him in the mountainside. I'm like, all right, we're getting to the end here. How are they taking this home? Because they pull some nonsense out of their fucking pocket with fucking Invincible, like, somehow surviving this on his own accord. I'm gonna be so pissed. And then they ended it with fucking his dad just, like, having a moment of humanity, I would say. And not being able to cope with what he just felt and leaving.
Was that, like, supposed to be a tear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The one tear when he was flying out into space?
Yeah, so it's just like, feelings, no! And then flies off. I was like, holy shit, that's like the best way you could have ended this, with Mark surviving.
Right. So I noticed they did something cool. When he was flying around and the jets were flying around and they were shooting all those missiles at him, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They literally went into full Macross mode in those scenes. If you watch those scenes again, it's the same like weird spinning, panning angles, and the style of the way those all those missiles were flying towards them. Stuff. It's like literally like, I bet you it's shot for shot out of like some of those.
Probably
some of those like Robotech type,
because those animators are definitely marked for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
It was really cool. I got like as soon as the shots were happening, I'm like, oh, this is like immediately it's a different like presentation of this world. Like they're not animating like this regularly. I mean, not that the show's like constant action, but
I will say though,
for these flight scenes where they're shooting at a thing and that it was like. It felt like it was traced from that, which was cool. Yeah. I really liked it.
Their whole budget was blown on that fight, and it was glorious.
I mean,
it was so good.
I guess. I mean, I don't know how the budget. I don't see. It's hard. I don't know enough about animation. I guess I could pick up the phone and call someone. I do have friends that work in animation out in California, but I don't know if it's for sure not like. Live action where like all of a sudden the budget like goes 10 times.
There's just so much, like that train scene. There was so much on the screen, so much going on.
Yeah, I guess.
I
guess. I mean, I know it's not the same. I know it's more work put into it than like two characters facing each other and talking.
Yeah.
But like how much more? It's not. Yeah. It's not the percentage more
cool.
As it is in live action.
It would be cool to talk to somebody in the know and get that information, because that would be cool to know, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they ended on a note of almost like, well, there's hope. Only, nah, man, there's no hope. What are you gonna do?
Well, a couple of things. You know that that his dad's gonna be back. He may come back with all of them,
or he might come back to like do the 180, the babyface turn.
Yeah,
that's a possibility as well. Which doesn't. I don't want it personally. I love I think he's fucking fantastic. he is, you know? And which is why the way that fight was left off with him just like, feelings, no! And flying up, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, go. So I don't want him to be redeemed. But
well, it's not like he's going to like circle the sun and burn the feelings away.
Yeah, you know? And by the way, the when he flew up and the blood and everything burned off the costume and the atmosphere and shit. This is the small things, the details that they do.
It's weird. I think they like made that up. I don't think there's I think re-entry into the atmosphere, you get a burn. I don't think you get a burn going out.
No, I think you have to you have to approach a certain speed to exit the atmosphere to get out of our gravitational pull.
I understand that,
and I think that comes with a certain amount of heat,
friction.
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
But I don't.
I think that's science. Yeah. And we're both not qualified enough to have this conversation.
I'm giving you such a look right now.
I'm pro-sciencing the fuck out of you.
I'm giving you such a look right now. Because I don't think in any movie everywhere they've said like anything about heat shielding or shown a glow on the tip of the fucking spaceship leaving. Always entering, but never leaving.
It's something that a smarter podcast would look up.
I think they made that up for the fucking
It was cool.
Cartoon.
Regardless. It was cool. But yeah, no, I can't wait for the second season, man.
Well, that article I think said it's renewed for 2 more seasons.
Yeah, 2 more,
which is good because not that like they didn't like story arc this, planning for 8 episodes, and it's a cliffhanger, and it could always be a cliffhanger even if they knew the show was ending. But with knowing you have 2 seasons, I don't think you have to. Maybe your arcs can be a little differently structured, knowing you've got at least 2 more seasons with this thing.
Yeah, no, I'm in, man. I'm in. I'm just like, it's probably gonna be like fucking early next year we get this second season drop.
So I
don't know if they've started working on it yet or what. So
no, I don't think you start working on something until
it gets that official
right.
Rotten Tomatoes is like, it's good.
No. You get the official like announcement that they're making them.
Yeah.
You can't start working on. I mean, I guess you could start like
storyboarding and,
but not really. You're paying people to do that, so maybe like Kirkman, the owner and the head of the show, could be like plotting it out in his spare time because,
well, it's his shit,
right?
And all he's doing is,
but as soon as you have like paid writers, or people like working on it, you better have the go ahead because you're paying those people.
He's just hindsight rewriting this for the most part, I would assume.
Yeah, but it's the same thing he did with The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I mean, both were around. I mean, I guess this was first. But also, even though this is first, let's pretend both comics started at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Walking Dead started being produced in another medium 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So there was less time between the start of the comic and the start of the series. There's more time between the start of this comic and the start of this series. So there's a longer hindsight period of what I would do differently.
Yeah.
Or how your storytelling attitude has changed or improved or whatever. So this, compared to The Walking Dead, it at least being different source material off the get-go or changing, there was more of an opportunity here. I think it made less changes and just made slight improvements. I think with the live action show, again, because you're dealing with people, when you're doing voiceover the stuff, those people are probably going to stay forever.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're paying actors real money to do stuff, and either they get tired of it or they're a pain in the ass or whatever, all of a sudden you got to change your story.
Yeah.
Because you're working around live people that you depend on or don't depend on.
Yeah, well, they pretty much hit it home on their all around cast. Fucking Invincible's, it's great because Amazon Prime, man, Boys, Invincible, like they're really
they don't
hitting home.
They don't
these
blink.
projects.
I love that sci-fi show that they brought over from The Expanse. It's amazing. It's my favorite sci-fi show. This whole like they're spending $1 billion or something on this new Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah.
Doing. So we'll see. I mean, they do some good stuff. I feel like they put out way less content than Netflix does.
But it counts.
I mean, I don't know. I
think their
watch
content. I think Netflix is more. Netflix has become a lot more quantity. Just there's stuff out there, and there's always new stuff out there.
It is, but like last night, I'm flipping around. There's so much shit in my queue.
Yeah.
Every week, there's new stuff that I'm interested in seeing, and I'm falling behind. So I was looking through my queue last night. I don't remember what the name of the movie is. And by the way, last week, before I forget, I said the movie wasn't called Combustion. It was called Spontaneous. Fucking that movie's awesome. But besides the point, yeah, I was going through the Netflix queue and I was like, fuck it, let me just watch something that's been sitting here a while.
Yeah.
And it was like some Luc Besson produced and written movie. Guy Pearce. It had that Russian guy that's in everything, the cool one, like from Bad Boys 2. That played the Lucifer in Constantine. Oh yeah, the Russian guy.
Yeah.
He was in it.
What's his name?
He was in it. Maggie Grace was in it, and it's like this. It's a little bit like Escape from L.A. in space, where he's got to go rescue the president's daughter.
Yeah.
She's like on this space penitentiary, and it was like this great fucking, like the way they wrote the main character. He was like smart ass, like Snake Plissken or like a Bruce Campbell type guy, just a dick to authority and all. So anyway, it was this fun movie for 90 minutes. It was a blast. You could tell that I think budget wise or something, there was they either didn't get to do some reshoots or they had to cut some of the editing was a little jumpy.
Yeah.
Story for the consistency of like telling a story, but so I don't know what that struggle was, and I don't know if this was just a movie that was made and then Netflix bought it, or if Netflix paid to make this. Yeah. You know, there's a difference there. Yeah. But it was fun. It was I watched that in that Tom Clancy movie that came out with Michael B. Jordan. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was like it operates in the universe of the other stuff, and I think she's one of the characters in it is like the daughter or granddaughter of maybe the James Earl Jones character in the movies.
Tom Clancy's movies don't really. They don't.
Oh, I like them.
Move the needle.
I like them.
A lot.
But most of them are based off that one guy.
Yeah, and I watched the trailer for this one, and I went, it's just like a standard.
Yeah, it
standard
was.
Action.
It was. Yeah, if it was a standard action,
it just didn't. It nothing exciting. You know, it's like, bro, I'll like we're at a point in cinema, where it's just like, bro, I'll just watch the better version of this movie.
Well, this was. I mean,
I'm sure bad. It was okay. I mean, there's great cast. It's just. I've seen this movie 1,000 times.
Well, I don't know about great cast. It had one good guy in it.
Oh, okay. Well, you watched it. I didn't.
Yeah, it's like other than Michael B. Jordan, I couldn't tell you who else was in it. I could tell you more people who was in that space movie I couldn't remember the title to than I could tell you who were in this movie.
I thought the only thing I did. So in the Mighty Ducks, the old Ducks has showed up.
Yeah, I think I might go watch those.
It's way more
because
pandering to kids.
I caught bits or pieces.
It's way more pandering to kids. It's very simplistic storytelling, but I will say that this show is better than the movies.
Yeah.
Especially at this point where the old Ducks came in and they did like the...
Well, Cobra Kai, I feel, might be better than the movies.
Yeah. But again, this is all with... They've had the hindsight... But that's
including all the movies.
They've had the hindsight of 30 years of okay, this is what people wanted to see. This is where we're at now, and this is what didn't work in the old movies. That kind of shit, you know? And with these new episodic, you have the ability to dive deep and storytell, which you didn't have in movies.
Well, that's like Bucky and...
Yeah. So it's just a better format for a lot of this stuff. But it was great seeing some of the old Ducks.
Yeah, but I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
So hold on.
Okay, hold on. Spoilers.
We could talk about other hockey movies you want.
All right.
But I wanted to say that I guess I watched 3 movies last night. And the draft. This was crazy.
You were busy.
I was busy doing nothing. I felt like I had to watch Mortal Kombat before we before we did this.
We haven't talked about Mortal Kombat, have we?
No, because it came out this week.
You didn't watch it yet.
No, I did. I watched it last night. I liked it. I know you have. Look at your faces.
Yeah, I know.
Changing.
I can't. This is where we're going.
Well, see, here's the thing. I didn't play I haven't played the video game since it was in the arcade.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any of the other movies since whatever. And so I don't even like. I didn't when they started introducing all these characters back in this movie. I vaguely remember most of them, but it was like I didn't like. There was not enough there that like. In my brain left from Mortal Kombat from the past in any incarnation for me to be upset that they were getting something right or wrong.
I will say that I never played Mortal Kombat past Mortal Kombat 3. I just moved on with my life.
It's 2 more than me.
I think Mortal Kombat Annihilation may be one of the worst things ever put to film for various reasons. But the original Mortal Kombat movie from 96 was it? I think 95, 96. The original Mortal Kombat movie, and this is with watching the one that just dropped, is still the best interpretation to me of Mortal Kombat. I don't understand, and before I say this, I understand that there's a longer idea in mind for the franchise. I understand what they're trying to do, but I'm going to say this because they're making the same mistake that fucking Zack Snyder made. I get that this movie wasn't about the tournament, that you wanted to build the characters to make 2 movies down the road, the tournament be the big thing, and that you know where everybody is.
But this was a tournament.
No, there was no tournament in this movie.
Yes, they did. They said, let's have the tournament. Let's and separate each guy and fight on their own. And
this movie was about Outworld killing everyone who's going to fight in the tournament, so there didn't have to be a tournament.
No,
that's what this movie was about.
No, this was the
yeah.
Watch
No.
It again.
Shao Kahn says it. He goes. The tournament is soon, and we want them all dead before it starts, so we just get the automatic victory. So we don't have to work so hard. So there'll be no. But
they were like, let's give them the tournament, and they.
But that's why they
them
filmed.
up.
But they filmed it that way because that's how Mortal Kombat is. It's 1-on-1. So you had to go hark back to the video games, and this is where some of the slavish, remembrance of that made this movie worse. Is if you were fighting another realm. And your best 7 against their best 7, and it's a tournament. But you want to kill them all before the tournament even starts. You don't do 1-on-1 tournament. You just go there, and all 7 people jump one by one the other realm's guys until they're all dead. Then you go home. You've won. And when the tournament comes around, you're automatic victory. That's how you do that movie. They did this movie like, we're not going to have a tournament. We're not going to let it get that far. But we're going to fight them as if it's a tournament. It was so fucking stupid. It was so... Who is Cole? What retarded... You have a video game franchise that has like 50 playable fucking characters, and you make one up. He's not interesting. And, yeah, it was a big dud for me. That was a big dud for me.
Yeah, I didn't even know Cole wasn't a character.
He was. That's brand new to the franchise, and please go, whatever. And here's the thing that pissed me off the most. Here's where I got legitimately mad at this movie. Everywhere Sub-Zero goes in this movie, people die. He touches you, you're dead. It's just the way the fuck it is. How the fuck, at the end of this fucking movie, did Cole's fucking wife and kid survive other than some kind of weird script magic? They should be dead, so that the tournament now has a completely different meaning. He's fully invested, and you're excited to see this next movie because you're like, oh shit, there's real things on the line. Because everyone who dies, Goro, and everyone who quote unquote dies, they're coming back because they'll just be resurrected. Because
he even said something like the.
So there was nothing at stake in this movie. And here's the thing and here's why I'm mad about that, because the lead up to this is everything has consequences in this movie. So all your favorite characters that die, they're dead. And then within the movie, they go, oh yeah, that's not so.
Well, some of them are. Like the Australian guy's dead.
Oh yeah, oh my god, he was the best part of the movie.
He kind of was.
And they somehow...
It was weird. It was like, not that I had a problem with them, but I didn't know. Like literally, everyone was just a random person off the street. Like there were no actors in this.
No, there really wasn't.
You know what I mean?
There really wasn't.
There weren't there were a couple faces that were familiar, but like the mains, like the girl, I didn't know who the fuck she was, and I don't like if she was some great martial artist that they found. They didn't really showcase it that much, you know.
No, they were. Listen, and I'm not taking away the fight.
It's funny because I didn't hate the movie.
The action is the best part of the movie.
I liked when that one girl got cut in half.
Oh,
down, yeah, but like using his hat like a table saw.
Yeah, there was some cool shit. There was some cool stuff, and it's a Mortal Kombat movie, so I know to take my expectations and manage them appropriately. But you got to do better than the 1995 effort, and they did not come close to that movie. To me, and maybe it's because I have such fond memories of that time of my life, because that was like one of the first rated R movies I was able to go to by myself. You know, that I didn't have to have like, you know, a parental permission or some shit. And you know, with my friends, I remember the posters in the movie theater leading up, because back in the day, you know, when you didn't have the fucking internet, like poster would just show up in the movie theater, and you'd go, "Oh fuck, this movie's coming out."
Yeah,
you know, and this is before superhero movies, nerd movies of any type. So like seeing like Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's not true.
What they weren't like they are now. You know, like you'd get one, but 1996. We had some Batmans.
Batman, Superman.
Superman was done by then.
Blade
was 97, 98.
Same time period.
But it was a time period where Mortal Kombat was kind of like one of the first nerd franchises or game franchises, kind of that. And it was a good movie. It really was. I mean, it's a movie. It's a product of 1995 for better or worse. And there's bad parts about that movie that didn't age well, but to me, as far as like the storytelling's concerned, they did it right.
I was thinking about trying to watch that again, but the time frame, I barely fit the new one in.
Yeah, and like there's like that fight with Reptile in that movie is fucking cringeworthy because of where CGI was at that point. But I didn't even realize until after the movie was over, and I was talking with Adrian, that was supposed to be Reptile in the new Mortal Kombat movie.
What'd you think it was?
Just some random lizard creature.
Okay.
A, because I hadn't played any of the recent games, so I didn't know. And B, because like you've done Reptile before. What the fuck was this? And let's all be honest. If this movie had any kind of fucking like, we're gonna work within the realm of our own physics, like. This world is, we're going to make it, and we're going to respect these physics and how these things work. Man, he would have murdered all fucking three of those motherfuckers in like 10 minutes, no problem whatsoever, with all his powers and shit. And it was just, a lot of what happened because we needed to get to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And it's what it felt like to me, man. And I just, God, I hated Cole. And they misuse Goro, of all fucking characters, to just throw out there as like, oh, we're going to kill him off. Like, what the fuck, Goro? I don't understand how, like, people... I don't know. I don't like it at all.
I think
I don't like Cole's powers. I don't like the fact that his wife and kid fucking survived the end when Sub-Zero literally killed every fucking person he touched until them. Which they looked dead, but... It was like it felt like Duke from the original G.I. Joe, where he was totally dead, but because when Prime died months earlier in the Transformers movie, the movement and the hatred and the letters that got sent to Hasbro, they retroactively, like in the end of the movie, they're like, you hear Scarlet say, "Oh no, Duke's out of his coma, it's all good," and you're like, no, that man totally died. They were dead. And it just felt like at the end, like after like audience screenings, they felt like, oh no, They have to survive. Let's reshoot that. It's fucking retarded, man. They should have died. It's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every character needs to have tragedy. And, like, Cole doesn't have any tragedy? No, he's a fucking awful Mary Suva character.
His bloodline has tragedy.
Oh, my God. And that was another thing.
So then he's related to Scorpion? Is that what we're saying?
But he's not. He's last of the bloodline or some shit. And then Scorpion comes back and...
And well, how's that, like, those... See, I'm more annoyed by the things that are just, like... Through the whole movie, you're calling this guy something, and then at the end, he's like, "I am now Scorpion."
Yeah,
it's like such a like a clunky
All of it was, man. The movie to me felt like...
I actually liked the movie, though.
The movie to me felt like a super fan got the ability to make a Mortal Kombat movie. And he made it in his image. And that's fine. But
what? All the directors now are super fans.
Well, he's not one that...
Everyone making these things in these genres.
He should have had an adult over his shoulder going, we have to do this.
This genre, especially comic books and video games, are now... everyone at the age to be making these movies grew up on them. When the original Mortal Kombat got made, I guarantee you whoever directed that wasn't like a diehard, go to the arcade, play video games for 20 years before that.
And he made the best movie so far.
Yeah.
Well. And that's my opinion. I know some people will disagree with that. I know some people have disagreed with that.
But you argue that. It's like sometimes that's bad, but then other times it's Dave Filoni.
But I hope that he has an opportunity, because apparently this is going to be a trilogy. I hope the movie succeeds enough to see a second effort. But here's where I think it's got the like, hey, we're going to do Justice League in 4 movies. We haven't made one quality movie yet, but we're going to get Justice League.
Yeah.
And it just feels like that same trap, like, hey, don't worry about the next thing. Make this one good. And it seems the same kind of thought process to me. That is just like, well, we're going to get there. Like, well, maybe you don't. And then you're left with, like, just bad efforts. Like, you should have made a really good tournament-based movie where we talk about next year's tournament to end it. Where, like, oh, you made a quality movie.
It doesn't seem like this happens every... It seems like the Mortal Kombat tournament...
It's like every 1,000 years or 100 years or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't happen multiple times in a person's lifespan.
Some Mortal Kombat fan is screaming at his phone right now because, like, how do you not know this? Once a millennia or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I don't know when it happens, but I think all the mortals involved in this aren't living to see the next one.
Yeah.
Just, it's past a normal lifespan.
But, I don't know, but listen, however you felt about it.
It's like that mystical city that appears in this spot, but for like a day every century kind of deals.
Don't give away the next Indiana Jones MacGuffin. I don't know what it'll be. Probably like, can he make it to the bedpan in time?
Yeah, this is... I'm not saying he didn't seem spry in the Star Wars movie.
Well, fuck you, I'll say it.
The Star Wars movie, but even that was 5 years ago at this point. So
when he was on that bridgeway walking towards his son, and I'm just like, Harrison Ford, for fuck's sakes, walk like a human being. Like, he's just like making it across. You're like, oh no, I know this is gonna end. You know what? Old Geller needs to be put down.
that was the grizzled walk.
Yeah, it was the grizzled '80s worker walk. Well, he has survived a plane crasher too, so
that's true.
Speaking of, I know this isn't fall upon a lot of the nerd talk, although it does involve wrestling a little bit, and that's super nerdy. Dude, did you see that Triller shit where the slap fights with Ric Flair as the
I just saw the one highlight.
Okay,
where the guy slapped the shit out of the other guy.
Yeah.
Ric Flair was like standing there,
and
like
Pete Davidson is sitting behind him, just talking shit, having fun. That was one of the best videos I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was watching an illegal stream of that until I guess. At the main event, they just cut everyone off. All those
I saw it. I had to 3 times during the lead up to the main event. I had to change streams 3 times.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have access. I think you sent me the link to the one I was watching, so I didn't.
There's always a few different streams. You just got to click back between them. They come back on. Listen, the government goes no, 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 and then the illegal people go yes, 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 and they play that game for a while.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna pay to see Jake Paul fight.
So. No. But although, there's 2 UFC fighters who have said, "Oh yeah, if you agree to these terms, I'll fight you." And that's...
Well, I don't think the kid's gonna do anything other than box.
He can't. He knows that. He's got to fight people he knows he can beat.
Well, it's not about that, but it's not knowing you can beat someone. Yeah. It's knowing you can't beat someone. It's like, I don't know how to do any of this other stuff. I'm not going to fight you. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with Floyd Mayweather. Why would he go fight an MMA fight? He's not qualified in any way to do it.
No.
He would obviously lose that.
No.
Why would he accept the challenge?
And he's fighting Logan Paul in like 2 months.
Yeah, but did you see the interview?
No, I haven't seen any of the.
He said he did the math. He did the math right to the guy. He's like, listen, I can fight any boxer right now and make like $35 to $50 million.
Yeah,
I can fight some YouTuber and make $100 million.
Yeah. Oh no!
I'm retired.
No, he's smart.
Why the fuck would I?
He's smart.
Why would I get paid less?
Yeah.
To fight real competition,
Logan
when
Paul,
I can get paid more to fight.
Logan Paul's going to come. We're nowhere close to touching him. Nowhere close. You're talking about the greatest defensive boxer of all time. He's not going nowhere close. But no, it was just funny to me just seeing somehow they decided to of all people for Ric Flair to be fucking just
of all people. Why wouldn't?
Yeah, oh my god, he's become a fucking Muppet at this point. Anyway, I just wanted to go into that.
He's in commercials all the time. He's like one of those pop culture guys. Same thing with Steve Austin. Yeah. Guy hasn't wrestled in like almost 20 years. Yeah. Literally has not wrestled in almost 20 years. He's got a national TV advertising campaign right now with Ice-T. Like the Stone Cold guys selling Tide detergent or something.
And I don't watch cable, so
they're cold calling people. Oh. And it's Ice-T and Stone Cold. And they're cold calling people, and they've cold called Vanilla Ice. They've called Mr. T. They've called it like it's this fun, and they're selling like detergent, cold water detergent, and it's and 20 years after his peak, Stone Cold Steve Austin has a national ad campaign, multiple commercials, getting paid.
He's been out there though.
Yeah, but I'm saying he was never more relevant than 20 years ago.
That's probably true.
So anyway, back to
Mortal Kombat.
Well, I wanted to get into our hockey thing, but I don't think you watched any of the other movies.
I did not.
You suck.
I just haven't had time.
You've had time. You're watching like girlfriend cartoons and shit.
I spent a lot of time actually working on my planes.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, in the garage this week. I want
to talk about the hockey movies. We watched Youngblood though. How great was that?
Did we've already done the episode on Youngblood.
We didn't talk
last week. We talked about Youngblood, didn't we?
Didn't.
Yeah, we thought for sure we talked about Youngblood last week.
No, we didn't.
Ben, we'll have to go back to the archives, but I'm pretty sure we spent an entire hour sucking Youngblood's dick.
We did not.
And just
we did not.
the level of
we did not
like homoeroticism that
No, we didn't talk about any of that.
Oh no? I would love to say that we've done that.
We did not.
This last week.
We're gonna have to do that next week. You're gonna have to watch another hockey movie this week.
Okay. All right. I'll watch. I know I have access to the Goon 2. I know that's on.
Slapshot's probably available too.
I think so. Maybe just the second one, but one of them's available.
Slapshot's the only one.
There wasn't a sequel?
No. Paul Newman doesn't make sequels.
that was Tombstone.
Paul Newman gets all of his good shit out in the first one, and he's like, "There's no need to revisit this."
Just drops the mic every time.
Just give me some other random
sport.
Give me some other random topic.
Oh, I'm thinking Robert Redford, Natural.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can make this a short one, but
short one. How long have we been talking?
45 minutes.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I'm just really sure that we spent the time talking about Youngblood last week.
I'm really sure we didn't.
My God, we can't even agree what we did last week.
It's funny. Yeah, neither of us can remember, but I'm positive we didn't. I'm positive we didn't talk about.
Almost sure we talked about fucking.
No, we talked about Falcon and Winter Soldier. We did Invincible. We talked between those two. That was like a full,
really.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Well, here's what I want to do then.
What?
I'll watch the hockey stuff, and because next week we don't have anything going on, but Mighty Ducks, so we'll make it all hockey.
I'll catch up on the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, and I'll watch Slapshot and Goon 2.
Yeah,
I actually might watch Goon and Goon 2 because I remember most of Goon.
Well, if you got to watch it with your wife, and she hasn't seen the first one,
so we'll have to see.
She'll probably appreciate you starting at the beginning, because the second Goon movie, Last of the Enforcers,
was it pickup?
Does take for granted that you're familiar with all these characters.
Yeah, I'll need a refresher. All right, man. Well, yeah. I mean, go watch Mortal Kombat, guys. It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch.
I liked it. I think I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't think much about it while I watched it. it's one of those movies where
it is definitely one of those movies.
Where
Please,
turn your brain off and just watch it.
Yeah. I feel as if I had nostalgia. It's like watching the Transformers movies. It's just like, no, man, I've already seen the best one. Sorry, I can't. It's like that for me. Like maybe I can't separate it and just. I mean, that and the Michael Bay movies were just genuinely bad. But
Bumblebee
was a good movie. I'll give it that. Bumblebee was the best live action Transformers movie they've made since.
John Cena. You're welcome.
They're called Decepticons. It's in the name. Yeah. Best line.
I think that movie benefited from being in the. Was that the 80s?
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
So I think that benefited greatly from being in the 80s.
And unlike a certain Wonder Woman movie that was based in the 80s but had no 80s movie or nostalgia in it, Bumblebee
a little
had plenty.
Big hair and padded shoulder pads kind of stuff going on.
Bumblebee had plenty of that. We're getting in the weeds. I'm fucking tired, man. Yeah.
Speaking of weeds, let's go. Let's go.
All right, buddy. Let's.
What?
Ben doesn't get high.
I mean, I try.
Oh, buddy, you still haven't recovered from the Aaron Agony incident of 2020.
That's not true. I made my own.
2015?
I haven't recovered from the couple of edibles I had. Where the one time where I went into work and didn't realize I was still fucking ripped out of my guilt from the night before until I was driving to work. And then I literally just kind of waited for Joe to leave the shop, put my head down on the table for an hour, and then went home. Did I tell you that story?
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I just put my head down on the table and waited an hour till I was pretty sure I could drive home.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude.
Forgot about that.
I was like, I didn't realize I was high. And then I merge onto the highway and I'm like,
uh-oh,
I can't be doing this.
Yeah. That was like a few months back where I was driving home from a friend's house and I realized I got on the road. I made it like a mile down the road and I went, this is the last time that I can do this. I can't do this any longer. I was white-knuckled the entire drive. And I just, I totally feel you. We're like, by the time you're done, you're like, okay. Like, we're checking this. This is off the list of things I can do in my life from now on.
Yeah, smoking doesn't get me high. But when I take those, when I eat those fucking...
Smoking don't get you high, buddy. You don't tell me that. I saw you fucking out of your mind paranoid that one night.
When?
With fucking the Agony incident and uproar.
Oh, yeah. But that was because he put something... I'm saying smoking weed doesn't get me high.
Oh, you think he's...
Whatever he fucking laced that shit with...
He couldn't afford much, probably like Pop Rocks, man.
Dude, it might have been Drano, but it was something. That thing was dipped in something. He's a fucking liar if he says it wasn't.
All right, guys. If you were entertained, please,
at least just subscribe.
We should really start our episodes with this. I don't know why we choose to end like we just assume you're going to make it all the way this far.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Especially when we start talking
please share, like, subscribe, and all that nonsense. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.